welcome. My name is Razia, and this is Inspiring the Ideals with Kappa, Upsilon, Eta Nu. This video podcast is sponsored by Kappa, Upsilon, Eta Nu, also referred to as Queen with a K. Kappa Upsilon Eta Nu is a non-collegiate movement that will bring together a bond of womanhood that will ignite, inspire, and improve generations. Queen will provide a lifetime of leadership and education through programs and events that will enhance local communities. This movement is a sisterhood of predominantly Black motivated women who are seeking change and growth in themselves. Music is also sponsored by Mad Connected Studios and Buddy Madison Productions. Again, my name is Razia. Welcome, y'all. I am an aspiring transformational speaker, entrepreneur of a legacy beyond legendary, and founder of Kappa Upsilon Eta Nu. Our goal with Inspiring the Ideals, a live video podcast, is to promote self-love, self-esteem, and woman empowerment. We are striving to dismantle jealousy, competition, and confrontation amongst young women. With a variety of topics, we hope to strike conversations that many try to avoid with the intent to raise awareness. Hey y'all, we are back. We are back with Inspiring the Ideals. I am so excited to start this second season, this new journey, and share with y'all my experiences. For those of you who don't really know, Inspiring the Ideals is a podcast and it is also a blog page. And what we're trying to do with Inspiring the Ideals is exactly what the title entails. Ideals meaning something that's, perfect, something that we want to perfect in our lives. So with Inspiring the Ideals, I am trying to bring out your ideal self. So your ideal perfect self. Granted, not everyone and everything will be perfect. There is no such thing as the perfect world, the perfect this or the perfect that. But the goal with this podcast and the blog is to inspire those ideals, give people the motivation and the inspiration they need to move forward. So, like I said, I am excited to be here, sharing with you my experiences. And what I do share with my blogs and with my podcast are things that I actually done for myself. Like, I wouldn't be sharing anything with you guys that I haven't tried out, that I haven't done. And I feel like that's just the best way. If I haven't done it, why would I share it with you guys? If it didn't work for me, I will share it with you guys so you guys can try it out for yourselves and it may work for you. So I am here to be transparent. I am here to show you my successes and my failures and to have a conversation. So throughout this podcast, the goal is for you guys to definitely listen to them and to communicate with me. I mean, whether it is commenting after you do listen to the podcast, reaching out to me via email or any social media platform, I'm always here to answer questions. I'm always here to listen to what you guys connected to, or even if you did not connect with something that I said, let me know. I want to know these things. Like, I really want this to be a two-way street where we're really getting dialogue and we're really getting to know each other going forward, especially since this is a new season. I'm starting fresh off and I'm just excited to get to know you guys as individuals, and I'm excited for you guys to get to know me as a person as well. So with that being said, let's jump right into the topic. So the topic today is the winter blues. It's the winter time, it's shorter days, it's getting dark, it's getting cold. No one wants to go out. We want to stay inside, be snuggled up. It's getting hard for us to stay motivated. Hard for us to maybe go to work or hang out with friends or go visit family. or maybe just to plan meetings, maybe just to plan events for your own business. It's getting hard for us to do that. And I say us because I'm speaking about myself, but I also know that there's other individuals that are going through this as well. So when I say us, I'm speaking on us as a collective, everyone. So this topic, I want to throw out some ideas, throw out some tips to see what we can do to prevent, us from having those negative thoughts, from staying at home, from canceling meetings, from not visiting friends and family. Like, what can we do to not do that this winter and really push forward and be this positive being? So the approach that I'm taking with this podcast is the spring cleaning approach. Spring comes around, the flowers start coming up, people want to clean up their houses, get ready for the spring and the summer, and so on and so forth. So I want to take that aspect and change it to winter cleaning. Clean out your minds, think positive thoughts. Clean your apartment or your house or your car. Do some cleaning, declutter your life. Do what you have to do to stay motivated. And I feel like, especially during those winter times, those are the times that we do need those smaller projects. Cleaning up your home, going to visit a family member just for a little bit, cooking dinner and having a friend come over. Those smaller projects are something that will really keep us going and really keep us focused this winter so that we're not thinking about other things. So, 3 tips or 3 things that I've done, even though it's not necessarily winter, although we've had, some little flurries out there. The change in weather has really got to me personally. The sun's not out as much. It's cold. I can't wear my dresses and skirts anymore. I have to put on my coat, my gloves, and that's really, it got to me, like, seriously. And it became hard for me to go to work. It became hard for me to do the things that I needed to do on a daily basis. So when I figured out that, this is what's stopping me, I had to really stop. I had to really think, and I had to really figure out where I wanted to go going forward. And that's where kind of these 3 kind of tips came into play at. As I mentioned earlier, so the first tip, as I mentioned earlier, it's decluttering. For me, that was super important. For me, in order for me to get anywhere or move forward and do anything, I really had to declutter. And I was really being honest with myself, sitting down, taking the time to really think about and make these decisions. And what I mean by decluttering is I had to get rid of those toxic relationships. I had to get rid of drama. People who always came to me with negativity. I open my arms to everybody. I love to hear everybody's story and their opinions, but it's kind of like a thin line where me being open, or even if you're this kind of person, if you're being open with someone, you have to have those boundaries. You have to be able to know when that person it's always negative. You have to know when to cut that off, because now their negativity is kind of going towards you, and now you're thinking negative. So you have to know when to cut that off and be like, okay, hey, I need a break from this. I need to think about my own personal health. And that's really important. So taking away those relationships, taking away drama. And drama came with like the social media. And not necessarily me being in drama, but just seeing other posts and other people's comments and what they're talking about. And that really brings negativity onto your life, whether you realize it or not. Me going through social media and seeing all these negative comments and everyone else in their drama, it was like, okay, now my mindset is starting to think. So I really had to declutter it. I had to take it away and really move forward with my life. Bad habits. Bad habits as in not staying motivated. I had to change my thinking, with affirmations, change my thinking with positive thinking. And I know from experience that that is extremely hard to go from having these negative thoughts to really trying to transform your mindset to have these positive thoughts. It is a difficult thing to do in your life. So I do understand when people say, okay, it's easier said than done, because that is true. But as a part of decluttering and getting ready for these winter months, you have to do it. Like, you have to get rid of those bad habits. If your bad habit is procrastinating, you have to find a way to get rid of it, especially during these winter months. Like I mentioned earlier, procrastinating will lead you to more procrastinating. And, with the winter months, it'll leave you being at home and watching TV and not pursuing your goals. So really just decluttering those habits. Negative talk and negative thoughts, like I mentioned, we have to find a way to flip it. We have to, every time we think of something negative, we have to find a way to think of something positive. That negative thought, oh, I don't want to go to work today. It's cold, it's snowing, whatever the case may be. You have to be like, okay, it is cold, but I go to work, I make this money. It is snowing, but I know once I get up, take a shower, and get out the house, I'll be fine. It's just finding ways to flip it and reverse it and moving forward with your day. Also decluttering your physical space, whether it's work, home, your car, like I mentioned earlier, cleaning. Like if you got piles of paper in your home or on your desk at your job, clean it up. Make your space, your environment, a place that you want to go to every day. When you walk in your home, the first instinct is like, oh, I'm home, everything's clean, I could go sit on my couch, I could relax, I don't have to worry about anything. Same thing with work. Like, I mean, if you know your desk is messy and you're at home getting ready to go to work and your thought is, man, I really don't want to go to work, my desk is messy, and it's cold outside. Like, it's just multiple layers adding on to why you are not going to work. So declutter it, clean it up. Make sure that your physical space matches how you feel, and make sure how you feel is something positive on a daily basis. Also, one thing that I did, it kind of goes with the removing the toxic relationships and drama, but also removing or trying to forgive and release those grudges that you may have. Going to sleep mad or sad at somebody, like, that's negative. So that's negativity on yourself. So you're going to bed mad, and then you're going to wake up mad because that's how you went to bed, So really finding peace within yourself and finding that time to sit down, being able to forgive, people who have done you wrong, or forgive yourself mainly. Like, I mean, if you feel like I should be further in life right now, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Everybody works at their own pace. And if you can't forgive yourself for not meeting those high expectations that you have for yourself, forgive it and set some smaller goals, just kind of reset what you had already initially planned. So that's the first thing, decluttering. Once you declutter, you can go on to the next step. The next step is rejuvenating, and this is where I had the most fun. Once I was able to take care of all of this negative space and negative energy, negative vibes I had in my life, especially with the change in weather, I was able to revive myself and my health. I still am doing this, physical, more exercise and eating healthier. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't exercise as much and I don't eat healthy all the time, but it is a mindset that I have where when I do go grocery shopping, my natural instinct is to buy things that are healthier. When I do have the free time, it's like, you know what? I kind of feel like doing a short workout, going for a short run. It's something that I actually incorporate into my daily life, and I actually feel better. um Positive relationships and friendships, like, once you remove the toxic, the positive comes in, and once you accept it, your life will be so much better. So all the toxicity is gone, and you're just getting positive vibes from left and right. Your relationships start to change, your friendships with your friends and your family start to change, and the energy that you feel from them will start to change. And like I said, I'm speaking from experience. Like, my friendships have gotten so much stronger, even though, I may still have those days where it's like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. I go back to step one. I declutter it, and then I can move on. And now, me being able to reach out to my friends or my family has become a stronger bond, which is really important, especially, like I said, during the winter blues. Creating those projects and being creative. I've had fun with this particular part here, the projects and creativity. With my podcast, I was just able to think clear. So I was able to get more spicy topics. I was able to do my research. I was keeping busy. I was creating projects for next year. And I was being creative with them. I was able to really do that because I didn't have this negative weight on my shoulder. Mindfulness and quiet time is also really important. Finding time to be with yourself, clearing your mind, being non-judgmental with yourself. A lot of people I feel like a lot of people, when they think of mindfulness, they think of like yoga and meditation and just being quiet, but it's really more than that, because when you meditate, you're in a quiet space, right? So when you're in that quiet space, of course your mind's going to wander. So how do you sit in this quiet space and be non-judgmental when your mind is wandering, if that makes sense? And that's something that's really hard to do. So I feel like when you're rejuvenating, you're trying to get your energy back, trying to move forward with your days and create this motivation, even though you don't have motivation when it comes to mindfulness. Whether it is yoga, whether it is meditation, whether it is listening to music or taking 10 minutes out of your day just to sit in silence. Or even in your car on the ride home, really being at one with yourself on that drive home. It's really important. Being able to do that and being able to know who you are in your body is important, and it helps going forward throughout your days to keep that motivation, so you are able to get to work, so you are able to plan events, or so you are able to work on your personal goals. It's really important. And then lastly, with the rejuvenating part of it, is telling your truth. I mean, a lot of us, and this was me for a long time. I didn't want to tell my truth. I didn't want to talk about what was really going on or what was really bothering me, or, the depressive like symptoms that I may have had. Like, I really didn't want to talk about it. So I feel like telling your truth and being honest with yourself goes a long way, especially if you have a story to tell. Many people go through the same thing in life, whether it's the same thing with a different experience. So they may have felt it differently than you may have, but once you tell that story, you see so many people come to you like, man, I went through this too, and this is what happened. And it's like a relief, like the baggage, the weight just comes off your shoulder, and you just feel like a feather. You just feel light and ready to move forward. And I think it's really important to do these things because you're giving yourself and you're allowing yourself the motivation. You're allowing yourself the dedication to get up, to go to work, to plan your events, to work on your goals. Like, it's really important. And lastly, it's maintaining. So maintaining this positive thoughts, in not even throughout the winter months, like going forward, it's a lifestyle change. But I know the winter months and the colder months and the shorter days are typically when we lose our motivation the most. So creating that routine, you got to maintain that positive thinking, those positive relationships, that mindfulness by creating a routine, and sticking to it, whether it's for the next month, I'm going to go to the gym once a week. For the next month, I'm going to wake up early, eat a good breakfast, sit in peace for a little bit before I have to go to work. Or every day when I get off of work, I'm going to come home, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to relax. I'm not going to check my phone. I'm not going to watch TV, my laptop. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to sit in peace after work and then get ready for bed, or whatever the case may be. But creating that routine and being consistent with it is extremely important. Setting goals is also important during these months. We're going to have blizzards. It's bound to happen. We're gonna have blizzards. The roads are gonna be icy, and it's gonna be like that for weeks, for months at a time. So what do? We set goals. Sunday, I'm gonna meet up with a friend. We're gonna have brunch, no matter what the weather is. On the weekends, my goal is to plan something for my business or my career. During the weekdays when I do have to go to work, my goal is to get up and do the consistency with your routine. My goal is to get up, do this meditation, relax, get dressed, and then go to work. Maintaining that is really important. But also realizing that you don't need to pile everything on top of each other. You don't need to have this extravagant to-do list or this extravagant goals that you have to fit in, get all done in the course of 3 to 4 months. You don't have to do that. Make sure that your goals are manageable. Do not overwhelm yourself, because once you overwhelm yourself, you're going to find yourself back at step one. You're going to find yourself not motivated. And now you have to start over. You have to declutter. And then you have to rejuvenate. And then now you have to maintain again. So making sure that it's manageable, something that you are able to do and still be able to enjoy and experience life. It's really important. And then, so just to kind of recap, like I said, the 3 steps is decluttering, rejuvenating, and then maintaining. How to stay positive during these months. Staying active. So it goes back to creating those projects, being creative, creating those goals. Talk about it. Like I said, if you have those friends, if you have those relationships in your life where you are able to talk with someone and really get it off your mind, do that. And the benefit of that is typically when you have a relationship like that, that person is also able to confide in you. So you're not the only one sharing. And it's a great way to stay positive. You're not holding everything in. You have someone that you can talk to. We talked about foods and healthier and eating healthier. So through some of my research, I did find that a good way to stay, positive and motivated during the winter times is to watch what you eat. So limiting your sugar, definitely limit your sugar intake. It can help out a lot. Eat more protein and vitamin D. Bananas and fruit was a big one as well. I saw that in a few articles. So fruit and banana, and then also my personal favorite is meditation. I love to meditate. I love to be at peace and at one with myself. And that's another big one is the yoga and meditation. So I would definitely take that into consideration. Also, another thing that I saw on how to stay positive, and I actually just started incorporating this in what I do. So this one right here, I haven't necessarily done it quite yet, or I haven't been consistent with it, but I do want to share with you guys because I do plan on continuing to see how this affects me. Is showing gratitude. So showing what you're thankful for, taking time to yourself to maybe journal and, write down, what you're thankful for, or even with that meditation, when that mindfulness piece comes into it, like just thinking about, being at one with yourself, but also thinking about, what you're thankful for. And, when I was reading some of the articles, about this, that was something that really stuck out in all of the articles that I read. So I did want to share it with you guys. So if you guys do try that one, that is something that I would definitely want to know. Like, how does that work for you? So that is the end of the podcast. Like, I really just wanted to share those 3 things with you because I know for myself, I I lose motivation quickly when it's cold and snowy and rainy. It's not my season. So I definitely want to share with you guys the things that I've done for myself to kind of get better and move forward and stay motivated and do the things that I need to do to move forward with my life. So with that being said, like I had mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, I definitely want this to be a conversation. So if you are listening to the podcast, definitely respond. Like, tell me what you connected with. Tell me what you disagreed with. If I mentioned something and you tried it for yourself and it worked out, or if it didn't work, let me know. If you have other tips or goals in regards to staying motivated in the wintertime or when the weather changes, let me know. Reach out to me via email or through social media. I definitely want this to be a dialogue. I want to get to know you as you get to know me, like I had mentioned earlier. So again, y'all, thank you so much for listening. I will be back in a couple weeks here with the next podcast. So I definitely hope you guys stay tuned for the next one and many more to come. So thank y'all again. Peace, y'all. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you do have any comments or any questions or concerns in regards to today's episode, definitely reach out to us. I would love to hear from you. Our goal with Inspiring the Ideals is to promote self-love, self-esteem, and woman empowerment. We are striving to dismantle jealousy, competition, and confrontation amongst young women. So you can send those questions, those comments, and concerns to any of our social media sites. You can follow us on Facebook and YouTube at Queenosity Tribe. You can follow us on SoundCloud at Inspiring the Ideals with the Queen Tribe. Our website is www.alegacybeyondlegendary.com/Kappa Upsilon Eta New. And our email is queen with a K, not a Q, at alegacybeyondlegendary.com. I will have the spellings for all of this in the description, so definitely follow our social media sites. If you are looking to be a candidate for co-hosting, question and answer, and or interviews, please let us know by sending an email. If you are a business owner looking for promotional outlets and or would like to feature on our show, please let us know by sending an email. Again, this is Inspiring the Ideals with Razia. Stay tuned. Peace, y'all.